Hello and welcome to day 8 of our SAT Masterclass for Maths section. Last time we were talking about probability and frequency tables and also evaluation of statistical claims. As I say, हामी area and volume and circle मा जान्छौं. So we are moving towards the geometrical side of our SAT Masterclass, and it's really important to remember the formulas. Although the formula list will be given in our this section that we can choose in the exam itself. तर पनि किनकि geometrical questions are normally towards the end of the SAT exam, and that's when you're going to be in rush the most. So it's always better to remember the formula than to depend on the formulas that will take up a few seconds of yours. So moving on to the first topic of today is area and volume. I will not be going in brief about what is area, what is volume. We all already know what it is. Area is basically finding out using the formula using L to B or L square and trying to find out how much a certain 2D object covers in a plane. Whereas when it comes to 3D objects, we find out the volume of them, and we often just multiply the area with a certain height that has been increased since it's three-dimensional, and use that. For example, if this circle was our 2D plane, we're adding a height along the line, and this addition of height made it 3D. Therefore, we have to add the area of this into the area of the height that has been added. So that's going to be pi r square h, which gives you the formula of the volume of the right circular triangle cylinder. So we can find out the volumes using the following ways, and here is a list of the formulas given to us. And at times it's really important that you remember these formulas yourself than to depend on the section in our ACT question itself. And another thing is that along with these, it's also important to remember the different special triangles and their formulas as well. For example, if we were to be discussing about an isosceles right triangle, which will have two sides of the same length, which is this, then if the value of this side is x, then the value of this side will also be x, but the value of this side is going to be root 2 x. And this will oftentimes help us a lot, especially in questions related to prism. Similarly, there are other types of these equations or finding out of the sides itself as well. For example, if it's a right triangle which has a certain degree in one section and a certain degree in the other section, 60 degree and 30 degree, then this section is going to be x, then the section hypotenuse to it would be 2x, and the other section is going to be root 3x. So these two conditions are really important, especially if you're going to be dealing with questions related to triangular prisms. But here, since the question is not related to it, let's move on to an example over here. The question says, Emeka forms a ball of clay with a radius of 3 centimeters. He then reforms the clay into a cylinder of the radius 2 centimeters. What is the height of the cylinder in centimeters rounded to its nearest tenth? So now here we know that we have a ball of sphere of a certain a certain radius, which is 3 centimeters, which then gets converted into a cylinder of radius 2 centimeter. But since a cylinder also has an height which we do not know of, we have to find height को value. अब यहाँ चाहिँ के गर्न मिल्यो भन्दाखेरि जुन क्लेले हाम्रो सिलिन्डर बनेको छ त्यही क्लेमै without adding any other extra clay or removing clay नै सिलिन्डर बनाएको हो. Hence, the volume of sphere is equal to the volume of cylinder. So your formula use गरेर we can easily find out the missing value of h, or pi r cube is equals to pi r square h. or that will be 3.14 into 27 is equals to 3.14 into 4 into h. This is going to give us 84.78, and this section let's say इतना बार divide करती हूँ. This itself is going to give us the value of h as 6.75. Now we know h cubed is 6.75, but it is also said that it has to be rounded to its nearest tenth. So which means you can go either way by calling it 6.7 or 6.8, which is going to be our correct answer. Moving on towards the next question of area and volume, which involves a right triangular prism. A right triangular prism with the right isosceles triangular base is shown. The height of the prism is equal to 9 centimeters. H is equals to 9 centimeters, and the base of the right isosceles triangle is 8 centimeter. So one side, or x, is equals to 8 centimeter. What is the volume of the prism rounded to its nearest cubic centimeter? Now this is not going to be x actually. Like I mentioned earlier, in a special right angle triangle case, the two sides beside are the one that are going to be equal, and since this side and this side is equal, this side, which is 8 centimeter, say is root 2 x, or 8 is equals to root 2 x. Therefore x is equals to 8 divided by root under 2. इति करते में we have found out the value of x itself, which is going to be 8 divided by root 2, giving us x is equals to 5.65. Now we basically just have to find out the area of the triangle, and we have to multiply it with the height given to find out the volume, since volume maniko is base into height. Now using the same concept, the area of the triangle is of course going to be 1 by 2 base into height. Let me erase all of this now. So 1 by 2 base into height will give us 1 by 2. The base is going to be this side, which is 5.65, and the height is again going to be 5.65. This will give us an answer of the area 5.65 into 5.65 divided by 2. That's 15.96 into height of 9 centimeters is going to give us 63.845 as our volume. What is the volume of prism rounded to the nearest cubic centimeter? So rounded, if you're going to round it up, then it would be 64, and that itself is going to be our answer. So that covers up our area and volume. The questions can be a bit longer to solve, so I suggest that your area को लागि चाहिँ हल्का टाइम छोडेर गरेको ठिक हुन्छ. And he says it is लास्टमा पनि हल्का आत्तिन सक्छ, हल्का अतारमा गर्न सक्छ. So it has to, we have to be a bit more careful किनकि unlike other most questions in SAT, ESMA we are doing a bit more calculations. It has a bit more many steps, so be sure about that. Now moving on towards the next topic is going to be circle. Here we'll learn about the basic circle theorems, what a unit circle is, and basically how to solve any questions when it comes in the equation of circle itself. So before all of that, we need to know what a central angle is, arc length is, and what a sector is. So first of all, central angle, center is this dot over here, which is equidistant from all the sides of the circle. Similarly, the central angle is going to be the angle taken from the center point between any two radii drawn. For example, your area ma, this is going to be our central angle. Ani arc length भनेको चाहिँ if this and B was it, then this and this was origin, then central angle is angle AO. B, whereas the arc length is going to be AB, this, and sector itself is the section of the circle जुन चाहिँ छुट्याइएको छ दुईटा रेडियाई बनाइसकेपछि. So this itself becomes a sector. Now a few important things to remember is the sum of the central angle measure is in a circle is always 360 degree. This angle is always 360 degree, and a triangle formed involving two radii will always give an isosceles triangle. If a certain triangle is being made, for example, this and this is being taken, these two are radii, hence they are going to be the same length. So this automatically becomes an isosceles triangle. And of course, central angle divided, this is something that's the most crucial part to solve any question related to circle. Central angle divided by 360 is equals to arc length divided by circumference is equals to sector area divided by circle area. If you look at this, we find out that central angle भनेको is a certain portion of 360 degree. Arc length भनेको is a certain section of the circumference, and sector area is this area is basically a small section of the whole area itself. So this is something pretty easy to remember and something that will be helpful in numericals. Like mentioned, AMRO ABC is one arc and EDC is another arc. Let's say ABC matra खोज्छ भनेको छ. अब यसमा चाहिँ we're going to use the small section of the formula that I said was important, which basically means arc length of 5 pi by circumference is equals to 50 degrees by 360 degree, or this is going to give us, when this gets multiplied over here, is going to give us 1800 pi by 50 degree is equals to circumference. Therefore circumference is 36 pi. You might get tempted and just say that D is the right answer. तर हामीलाई त ABC को मात्र भनेको छ, and we know that ADC is 5 pi. So the length of the arc ABC is going to be 36 pi minus 5 pi, giving us 31 pi, which is our correct answer. So in a very simple way, using a simple formula, we can find out the answer. To first find out the value of R itself, we know that the arc length is 4 pi and that it is 1/8 of the circumference. When you see 4 pi भनेको 1/8 of the circumference, or 4 pi, that will give us 32 pi is equals to 2 pi r. Therefore r is 16 centimeter. Now since you already know the value of r, अब हामीलाई theta को value चाहिन्छ. Theta को value find गर्नको लागि we already know theta by 360 degree is equals to 4 pi by the circumference that we were given, which is 32 pi. By using this, we can find out the value, or theta is equals to 360 degree. 360 degree divided by 8. So when we do that, we get a value of 45. Therefore, theta is 45 degree. Our your value A is equals to 1 by 2 theta r square is equals to 1 by 2 into 45 into 16 whole square. Let's erase this part. That is going to give us a value of 16 into 16 into 45 divided by 2, which is 5760 is the area of the shaded region itself. There is some money, we need the value with a pi, so we have to take it out pi value, so 180 degree into pi only. You got it, 180 degree divide point, whereas it's also being multiplied. So divided by 180 degree, we get 32 pi. Therefore, the value of A is equals to 32. Similarly, Now, moving on towards the next topic, we're going to learn the most general and the basic formula in when studying circle. And the formula is x minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square is equals to r square. So, h comma k is basically the point which is in the center itself. Most of the time, if this is over here, if the circle the center is in the origin, मान लीजिए ये point 0 0 हुन्छ. So origin में होता चाहिँ circle को formula x square plus y square is equals to r square भन्छ. तर if h comma k अरू कुनै पनि different point छ भने चाहिँ यसो टाइपको equation चाहिँ बनाउनु पर्ने हुन्छ. And even in the question given, हामीले चाहिँ यही formatमा चाहिँ लगमा खोजेर answer गर्न खोज्नु. Or in this case, it would be x minus 1 whole square plus y minus 2 whole square is equals to r square. We can even find out the radius, which is 1, 2, 3 units, so it's going to be 9 or 3 square. So it's the format for data awesome, and this is how we normally do our questions and how we solve questions related to the formula. Here's an example, quick and easy example. A circle in the xy plane has a diameter with endpoints at 0, comma 3 and minus 4, comma 0. Which of the following is an equation on the circle? So, circle or even geometry related question, it's better if you can visualize the figure. Because the type of diagram but if not, you can always put in those points test muscles. Here, however, I'll just make it real quick. So, what are points the 0, comma 1, 2, 3, 3 ma. So, it's 0, comma 3 ma. And then the other point is in 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 4 ma. So, it's going to be minus 4, comma 0 ma. So, these are the points of our diameter. Therefore, I'm going to circle somewhat is the one sorry. यस्तो बनेको हुन्छ अनि यस चाहिँ हाम्रो diameter हुन्छ, or you could even go अर्को. So we know that the center, however, is not going to be origin at all. Now, using the diameter, we can find out the length of the radius itself, and we can use the distance formula that we have learned to do that, which is x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. Which is the diameter formula to find out the length of any 2 points. So minus 4 minus 0 whole square plus 0 plus 3 whole square is going to give us 16 plus 9. Therefore, the diameter is 25 centimeters. Not the radius, but the diameter. So the radius is going to be 12.5 whole square. So that is going to be it's going to be 12.5 is going to be our radius thing. Now, radius find out गरिसकेपछि, we also need to find out the center points or the midpoints in this. And to find out the midpoints, we can use again these two equations. So the midpoint h is equals to x2 plus x1 by 2, and in the midpoint to find out the k is going to be y2 plus y1 by 2. So that will give us a point of 0 plus minus 4 by 2 to give us minus 2. H is equals to minus 2, and k becomes 0 plus 3, so it becomes 3 by 2. So if you try to put this in an equation itself, after clearing this out, we can use the equation we learned just before, x minus plus 2 whole square plus y minus 3 by 2 whole square is going to give us 12.5 whole square. And easily we can find out the equation of the circle. And with that, our official SAT Masterclass format ends. And I hope that through all these videos you guys learned at least the basics of it. Of course, the SAT Masterclass, there's so much information, and if you actually take classes and if you go through the books that the official SAT prep has, you'll realize what the really contents are. But I feel like if you guys go through this video first, it will give you a starting point and what to expect out of SAT से था answer. So I hope you guys prepare for your SAT well, and these videos will helpful, and that you guys perform really great in your SAT, and really best of luck, and hope to see really good results from all of you.